2022 had some fantastic wrestling matches, fought over by fantastic wrestlers, but who was the best? Did my favourite rock or did they suck? Hurl abuse at me in the comments after you've watched this video to let me know your opinion. I'm answering the question, who was the Wrestler of the Year 2022? I'm not breaking it down by company, I'm not breaking it down by gender or division. It will be who I think has been the best wrestler all year. I've got a top 10 list to go through. Skip to the end if you want it spoiled, but obviously come back and watch the rest of it because watch time. At any time, comment your thoughts. It's okay, you can't break my spirit. I believe in you, more than your dad ever did anyway. Starting with number 10, Sheamus. Sheamus is a fantastic wrestler. For many years he's consistently put on great matches with the likes of Roman Reigns, Randy Orton and plenty more, but it's only really this year he's been truly recognised for just how good he is. There is a particular match and subsequent feud with GUNTHER that set the wrestling world on fire and got everybody talking. Sheamus has earned the right to be on this list. Admittedly, he's 10th, so quite low down at times. But when it comes to the level of talent that is on this list that should be competing for Wrestler of the Year 2022, Sheamus deserves a place amongst the upper echelons of talent. Long may it continue, and long may this particular renaissance work its way towards championships and Roman Reigns again. For number 9, we go to New Japan and we have Will Ospreay. If you're not familiar with Will Ospreay's work, he is easily one of the best actual in-ring wrestlers you will ever see. Tremendously entertaining, absolute gold dust in all of his work over the course of this year, building a faction out of relative unknowns and turning them into unstoppable monsters. He's the one who presided over the rise of the Great O'Khan. He's the guy who set up Aussie Open to wrestle FDR, and that's before you even consider all the wrestling matches he's had in between. Will Ospreay is a guarantee of quality. Coming up on Wrestle Kingdom, he will be facing Kenny Omega, and I cannot wait for these two to tangle once again. But in the meantime, you cannot miss out watching a G1 featuring Will Ospreay, or in fact Royal Quest from October as well. Number 8, RHEA Ripley. Your definition of greatest wrestler may differ slightly from mine, in that my interest is not solely in the in-ring product. There are some tremendous in-ring wrestlers who haven't made this list, including people like Johnny Gargano, who puts on clinics every time he steps into the ring, and Bryan Danielson, who has taken AEW by storm. Not featured on this list because it's not just about the in-ring for me. And RHEA Ripley, while she hasn't been in the ring too much, has an amazing presence that has caught the attention of the world, particularly with her pairing with Judgment Day. It was about a third of the way through the year that she joined Judgment Day, originally with Damian Priest and Edge, and just the image of RHEA Ripley amongst that talent got people talking. But since then, every time she is on screen, she has drawn the eye. Whether it's body slamming Luke Gallows, whether it's threatening Beth Phoenix, taking her out with ease, or of course this entire storyline with Dominic Mysterio. That's after, of course, you consider WrestleMania, where she was in a tag team with Liv Morgan. She's had the focus, she's had the eye, and she's been very worth it. She is one of those that stands out from the pack. Raw is really stacked at the moment. People like RHEA Ripley finding a way to make themselves the focal point when you've got people like Edge, AJ Styles, Finn Balor all around you. That is someone with an amazing talent who has had an amazing year. Number 7, GUNTHER. Previously referred to as Volta, when he stepped onto the scene he immediately drew attention and you knew good matches and good moments were coming. It took a little while for the GUNTHER character to find its feet, but the Imperium pairing, originally Ludwig Kaiser, now Giovanni Vinci, adds a whole era of gravitas. He is one of those wrestlers that simply has a presence that is undeniable. So far, he is undefeated, if you forget about that whole Survivor Series thing against Drew McIntyre, and is likely to continue to be so for a while yet. Gunther has really set the world alight, primarily through matches with the aforementioned Sheamus, but also great matches with people like Ricochet, who are a bit further down the card. Many multi-man matches as well that he has been involved in, and his current feud going on with Braun Strowman. I didn't like the fact that he was running away, but even that he did with style. Imperium has been a constant and a huge part of what has made SmackDown so good recently. As long as Gunther is in this current trajectory, he has not just rebuilt the Intercontinental Championship, he may become a defining person to hold that gold and make it what it was many years ago. Number 6 is Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair's consistency has at this point become so reliable that I don't think she's actually going to be on many people's Wrestler of the Year lists. That said, she definitely deserves that position, especially when you consider the sheer level of talent she's been in ring with, and not just held her own, but been very convincing as well. She's wrestled with the Becky Lynches, she's wrestled with the Charlotte Flairs, she has wrestled with Bayley, and at times all of Damage Control. She has a match coming up against Alexa Bliss as well. Bianca Belair has held the gold for most of the year and made a real big impact throughout that time. She has faced off against many different competitors and continually puts on great matches. Her match against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania is definitely in contendership for Match of the Year, and it seems like the catalogue of great matches that Bianca Belair is having are simply unceasing. She continues to have, if you'll forgive the Sheamus, banger after banger after banger, including ladder matches with Bayley and plenty more. I expect Bianca Belair to hold the championship at least until WrestleMania, and I expect her to get a little bit more violent, a little bit more hardcore, and I cannot wait for it. Very exciting times are ahead for Bianca Belair, and she is deserving of every plaudit that has come her way. For number 5, we cross the Great Divide. We wander through the Forbidden Door. Basically, we're going to All Elite Wrestling, and it's MJF. MJF is undeniable. Every time he opens his mouth, you have to see it, you have to watch it. He is enthralling to watch. Not only that, but that's before we even consider his overall level of in-ring talent. The only thing that keeps him from being higher on this list is that he has been unavailable for some of the year, but that's actually also a selling point. MJF came back at just the right time. Literally, just the correct night, because the CM Punk extravaganza that was also swallowed up a little bit by MJF's run to the championship. MJF has been a staple of AEW since it started, and a guaranteed world champion in his near future. The trajectory was clear and obvious. MJF will continue his rise, continue his ascension. He is one of the only people I feel in AEW right now who was already developed to the point that you could easily compete with the top level stars in WWE. There are plenty of people rising up the AEW ladder. MJF from day one was always going to be the one to get to the top first. Number 4 is a lot of people's favourites this year, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's year has to be examined in its entirety, start to finish. This time a year ago, we were genuinely worried that Sami Zayn was not going to sign a new contract with the WWE. He was on a massive losing streak, and to be blunt, he was going nowhere fast. He did sign a new deal, and he was paired with, to everyone's surprise, Johnny Knoxville. Again, he seemed like he was going nowhere. That said, the match against Knoxville at WrestleMania was tremendously entertaining, and since then, Sami Zayn has been a clear focal point of both Vince McMahon before he left the company and Triple H since. There are clearly a lot of people fighting for Sami Zayn and in his corner, and he has proven worth it. Sami Zayn is one of those where no matter what is happening, the second he opens his mouth, you believe. And the second he opens his mouth, you also can't quite believe what you're hearing. The word Usi got over purely because Sami Zayn is so magnificently engaging in the ring. He has continually broken the bloodline And I don't even mean storyline, I don't even mean kayfabe. They literally could not keep a straight face whenever Sami Zayn was nearby. A huge part of Logan Paul's push towards championships was Sami Zayn just being funny enough to hold the attention even when fans didn't necessarily want to see Logan Paul. I know Sami Zayn's going to be further up the card for a lot of people, but for me, this is where Sami Zayn lands. One more year, and I think he could top the whole thing. This leaves us with just 3 more. 2 from WWE, 1 from AEW, and 3 men who at one point were described as the future of wrestling, proving their point. Number 3 is the current WWE and Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the most entertaining and most engaging wrestler that there is right now. Something about him has finally reached that level where he is an unstoppable force of nature. Wrestling, in so many ways, is in the grip of Roman Reigns, and he is the most over of all of them. However, this is not the beginning of this storyline, and outside of Sami Zayn, we have not actually seen much progress with the Bloodline. Roman is now the same as he was this time last year, and the same as he was this time the year before that. Roman Reigns has started to stand out less because of the overall charisma of your Sami Zayns, your Jey Usos. This works against him. Also working against him, a lack of dates and availability. He has not been at the forefront of wrestling too much recently. Roman is still there for the big moments, and we'll all remember the ring being tipped and Roman rolling out of it from SummerSlam. He certainly still makes a massive impression, but until we see some change, I can't see him topping this list. That said, 3rd place, when you look at the talent on this list, is still an incredible spot to be in. 2nd place, and at this point I do feel you should have pitchforks at the ready, and remember to throw some abuse in those comments because I'm waiting for it. Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley has been the beating, bruised and often bloody heart of AEW since the moment he walked into the company, and he has proved it this year more than any other. Working under a handshake deal for a number of months, cancelling a holiday to be available and help out Tony Khan and his fellow AEW wrestlers, Jon Moxley has been the core of AEW, a multiple-time world champion now. Whenever Tony Khan and AEW needed someone, Jon Moxley was there, delivering great quality matches, great quality promos, and amazing reliability. It is in sharp contrast to situations in which Jon Moxley himself has admitted to being less than reliable. A former Shield mate of Roman Reigns, of course, Jon Moxley is the head of the competition, and one of the main reasons that you can call it competition when you compare to the likes of Impact or New Japan. I do hope, whatever company it is in, we see Roman Reigns and Jon Moxley recombine at some point in the future. Finally, we get to number 1, and if you've been tracking the last 2, I'm sure you know who it is. The architect of the Shield, Seth Rollins. My main reasons for this is that Seth Rollins simply has not missed a beat in the entire year. From the Royal Rumble when he came out in the Shield gear and is the only person not to be vanquished by Roman, to WrestleMania when he stepped up against Cody Rhodes. Heralded is that Hell in a Cell match with Cody, and people remember to herald Cody but don't herald Seth Rollins enough. From there, he moved on to Matt Riddle with pay-per-view main events and plenty more from there. Everything Seth does, he does not miss a step. Right now, putting over Austin Theory, working a tremendous triple threat at Survivor Series with Bobby Lashley. The quality of wrestling, the quality of promo, even just to look at. This man is incredible. This has been the year of Seth Rollins, and every ridiculous outfit that he has worn has further proven that point. He has been the mainstay, the main reason to watch Monday Night Raw. When Raw don't have a Roman Reigns, how do they keep it competitive? Seth Rollins. The top 3 spots for my Wrestler of the Year 2022 are the members of The Shield, Roman Reigns, Jon Moxley and Seth Rollins. Who's your Wrestler of the Year? Comment below, like even if you disagree with me, because come on, I put work into this, and remember to subscribe. In the meantime, check out the video on the screen right now and I'll see you soon.